Okay, so today I'd like to talk to you about a 2010 Chrysler Town and Country. This vehicle came into our shop for an intermittent stalling problem. It was very intermittent. I had to drive it for a few days to get it to happen to me. Basically, this vehicle, you'd be driving it along, mainly in the mornings it would happen at times, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, you would lose your power steering, your power brakes, and of course your acceleration. And you'd look down at your tachometer and you'd see it was on 0, and you realize that the engine had stalled and you're not able to go anywhere. Very dangerous. If you Google this problem, you'll find that there's a lot of these vehicles doing this, and it's very dangerous. There's been some accidents with this problem right here, where people couldn't get out of the way, they couldn't stop, they couldn't accelerate. So we did some research on this thing. It took us a while to find it, and we found a technical service bulletin. I'll show it to you right here. It's a important safety recall from the National Traffic and Motor Vehicle Safety Act. And this is the number right here for it. That's the recall number. And if you read through this thing, it tells you it affects basically from 2008 to 2010, Chrysler Town & Country, Dodge Journeys, the Chrysler Caravans, and it talks about a wind module. Now, a wind module is the wireless ignition node, and then it talks about the frequently operated button keys. Basically, in layman's terms, what they're trying to say is you need a new ignition switch, which is this right here. That's the node, and you need a new key. That's what we did on this vehicle. Now, if you read through on this bulletin, it also tells you, and I'll go ahead and go over this thing so you can read it. It tells you that if you take it to your Chrysler dealer, that this it should be done at no charge. Should be done at no charge. Emphasize the word should, because on this vehicle right here, when I went down there, they said, no, we are not doing it for free, you got to pay for it. And I said, but it says it right here, you should do it for free. It won't work, because when you pull up a coverage report, this VIN, it doesn't qualify for this bulletin. Imagine that, right? So we had to buy the parts. What we did is we bought the parts, and then we installed them, and we had our programming guy come by and program it for us. I've driven this vehicle long enough. I've driven it for the last 5 days, to and from work and running errands, and the problem is pretty much confirmed gone. It has not happened to me. Prior to the repair, it would happen every day or so. I would get a stalling issue. So I think I've driven it long enough to confirm the fix. Now, there's a couple other things we did to this vehicle too. One thing you want to check is you want to make sure you have good battery connection. We put nice new ends on it, nice and clean, a nice strong battery, and we have good grounds to the engine and transmission and body. We also did an EGR. There's been some reports of EGRs maybe fixing this issue. I don't think it was the EGR. I think mainly it was the ignition switch. The EGR did make the engine run a lot smoother though, so it did have some issues. So if you have one of these vehicles with an intermittent stalling problem, check that bulletin out, see if you can get it covered under your dealership. If not, you got to buy the parts and bite the bullet and install them and get them programmed. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, have a great day.